The universe is not composed of just one world, but instead is divided into countless parallel worlds known as the multiverse. In every universe, each human has a twin with a different personality, fate, and destiny. The technology to travel between universes actually exists, but it is forbidden by the Multiverse Authority, or MVA, because they hold the great responsibility of maintaining the balance of the entire multiverse.
There is not one you. There are many. Each of us exists in present time in parallel universes.
In one universe, a high-profile prisoner named Lols is being transferred to a state prison. Armed officers wearing full armor prepare to escort him. They put a helmet and vest on his body, then lead him outside. But when the transfer process is almost complete, Lols feels something strange, and in an instant, he is shot dead by a mysterious figure. Chaos immediately breaks out. Gunfire erupts, and the situation turns extremely tense.
Whoa! Scott! Follow me!
Shortly after, the mysterious figure appears by jumping out of an exhaust vent. It is Yulo, Lols' twin from another universe. The officers are momentarily stunned, confused by the sight of someone identical to the prisoner they were guarding. Seizing the opportunity, Yulo attacks with extraordinary martial arts skills. Though the enemies outnumber him, Yulo defeats them one by one quickly before escaping. With incredible speed, Yulo forces the police to chase him using cars and even helicopters. The streets descend into chaos due to the pursuit. Meanwhile, two MVA agents named Frank and Rodney are also hunting Yulo.
One of the holes.
Just give it the go-ahead. You'll never make it to the hole.
You were recruited to apprehend him, not be his assassin. You understand that?
After a long chase, they finally manage to corner him and decide to split up in an attempt to capture him. While Yulo hides, it is revealed that he is waiting for a portal that can take him across the multiverse. But from the beginning, he has known that Frank and Rodney have been chasing him. Frank orders him to surrender, but Yulo refuses outright.
I will kill you.
No, you won't.
At that moment, Rodney arrives in a car and rams him hard. They manage to cuff him with special restraints and take him back to his home universe. Once there, Yulo is brought to trial. He is found guilty of a series of murders of his counterparts across multiple universes. Lols, who came from the Anubis universe, was only one of many victims. It is revealed that out of a total of 124 universes, only one twin remains, as the rest have been killed by Yulo. To prevent him from escaping again, his body is chained from hands to feet, so he cannot use his superhuman power. Rodney, who has pursued him for 2 years, warns that Yulo will never be able to kill the last remaining twin.
The line has run out.
The next day, preparations for execution begin. In the room sits a beautiful woman there to witness the execution. Yulo is given the chance to deliver his final statement. He declares that all his actions were done to uphold truth within the multiverse, because, according to him, there should only be one version of himself alive. In doing so, the energy of the other versions would merge into him, making him faster, stronger, and smarter. He claims he is not guilty, believing that the energy he absorbs is merely wasted residue, and that all of it was destined to unite within him, making him the perfect being, the one called the One.
May God be with you. Are you ready? Are you?
But it turns out that the woman present at the execution is his ally. She pulls out a small rat-shaped bomb from her shoe and signals Yulo. Moments later, the bomb explodes, destroying the execution chamber. Amid the chaos, Yulo manages to escape after taking down anyone who tries to stop him. He then activates a machine to jump into another universe. Soon after, Frank and Rodney arrive at the scene. Rodney realizes that Yulo must be heading to the universe where his last remaining twin lives. In that universe, the last twin is a police officer named Gabe. While on duty, Gabe feels a strange premonition, the same as Lowell's did before. Moments later, the lights around him go out and his team is suddenly attacked by a mysterious figure. A gunfight ensues.
Something's wrong.
Gabe is shocked when he sees that the attacker's face is identical to his own. That's when he realizes the assailant is Yulo.
Hey, on the bus!
After a brief fight, Yulo flees, and Gabe chases after him. During the chase, Yulo leaps over a tall wall. Gabe follows, but after landing, he is shot in the body by Yulo. When Yulo is about to finish him off, Frank and Rodney appear from above the wall and stop him. Yulo escapes again before he can kill Gabe. Meanwhile, Gabe's wife, Caris, initially plans to go to the hospital but cancels when she sees her husband return home safely. Gabe reassures her that he is fine because he was wearing a bulletproof vest. Though reluctant at first, he finally agrees to go to the hospital to ease her worries.
Shot. You need to be examined.
We'll go to the hospital, check out after him.
At the hospital, Gabe's fellow officers ask him about the description of the attacker. Gabe vaguely replies that he couldn't see clearly because it was dark. The officers leave, but Caris senses he is lying. Gabe finally admits that the attacker had the same face as him. He realizes that he himself is the real target. Caris suspects Gabe is hallucinating due to trauma, so she decides to take him to the MRI room.
Look, you were shot. Your memory, it could have been affected by the trauma. Or maybe the adrenaline caused some kind of hallucination.
Mrs. Law, before we go into the MRI room,
On the way there, Gabe sees Yulo's reflection in a mirror, making him panic. Once inside the MRI room, he feels increasingly uneasy. The doctor forbids any metal objects, so Gabe removes his wedding ring. Out of fear, he asks to carry his gun, but the doctor refuses. His wife tries to calm him down. During the scan, Yulo suddenly enters the room and threatens the doctor. But just as things turn critical, Frank and Rodney arrive to stop him. A fierce fight breaks out inside the MRI room.
Back away, back away!
Gunfire.
Gabe quickly exits the MRI machine, while Yulo continues to battle the two agents.
Be still.
Moments later, Gabe suddenly appears and kicks Yulo several times before stepping back. As Yulo is about to kill him, his gun is suddenly pulled strongly toward the MRI machine's magnetic field. Seeing the opportunity, Frank and Rodney plan to capture him. But when the police arrive, Yulo manages to escape once again.
Just let me take out one leg.
Cuff him.
What do you got?
Gabe is there.
Meanwhile, CCTV footage is reviewed, causing Caris and the police to mistake Gabe for Yulo. They arrest him just as he is about to pursue the real Yulo. Gabe tries to explain that he is not that person and even insists someone is trying to kill him, but no one believes him. The situation escalates into a fight where Gabe battles the police using nearby objects. It becomes clear that he possesses abilities almost equal to Yulo's.
Anyone else? Someone tried to kill me? Hey you guys!
This is because, across the multiverse, only two of them remain, Gabe and Yulo. Thus, the energy from 124 universes is now shared only between the two of them. Meanwhile, Frank and Rodney devise a new plan and decide to split up. Rodney will pursue Yulo, while Frank plans to talk to Gabe, whose power is now equal to Yulo's, hoping he will help stop him.
Now that son of a bitch, get out of here.
At the same time, Yulo pretends to be a corpse. He escapes the autopsy room and flees using a hearse. As he drives while listening to music, Rodney suddenly appears and points a gun at him. Elsewhere, Gabe escapes in an ambulance, and Frank spots him and gives chase. When they finally meet, Gabe attacks Frank, thinking he is a threat. Frank then explains that Yulo is hunting him to kill his last remaining version in order to gain even greater power. However, Gabe still doesn't believe him and leaves. Frank keeps trying to convince Gabe by explaining the truth about the multiverse and the MVA agents. He also reveals that Yulo was once an MVA agent, but after killing one of his versions during a mission, he became obsessed with the power gained from killing his counterparts in other dimensions. Even with this detailed explanation, Gabe still doesn't believe him.
I'm a multiverse agent. You're not.
Meanwhile, Yulo, confronted by Rodney, crashes his car as a counterattack, triggering a hand-to-hand fight.
That's the one.
With power far beyond a normal human's, Yulo defeats and kills Rodney. He then activates Rodney's device alarm, signaling Frank that his partner is dead. Learning this, Frank once again asks for Gabe's help, but Gabe refuses and leaves.
I don't want any part of this.
Not long after, Yulo causes another scene in front of several officers. He displays his prowess and defeats the officers before escaping in a police car. The next day, Caris is escorted home by police. They also intend to arrest her husband Gabe, believing he caused the same chaos as Yulo. Many officers enter their house to search, while Caris realizes that Gabe is hiding in the attic. She asks the police for privacy and secretly talks to Gabe.
I'll be right outside.
Thanks.
I need my gun.
Gabe asks for a weapon, and Caris hurries to get one. But when she's about to hand it over, she sees another Gabe outside the window. Suspicious, she tests the Gabe in the attic with questions about how they met. His wrong answers prove he is actually Yulo. Caris points a gun at him and screams for the police. Unfortunately, Yulo grabs the gun, shoots the officer outside, then shoots Caris right in front of Gabe to enrage him.
Gabe, drop it! Gabe!
When more officers arrive, Yulo jumps out the window and escapes, while Gabe, once again mistaken for Yulo, is pursued. Fortunately, Frank appears and rescues Gabe, and they escape together.
Gabe, get in!
Caris's death fills Gabe with rage, and he vows to avenge her by killing Yulo, even if it means being hunted by the NBA. Seeing his determination, Frank takes him to a portal that is about to open, where Yulo is expected to appear. They go to a factory, and sure enough, Yulo is seen running there. They chase him, but suddenly Frank's watch lights up, signaling an active bomb in the area. Frank and Gabe are forced to split up to find cover. Moments later, the bomb explodes. Frank calls out for Gabe after the blast, but there is no answer.
Take cover! The bomb! Don't break for 20 seconds after the blast! Gabe!
With no other choice, he faces Yulo alone. A fierce battle ensues, and Frank is overpowered. At the critical moment, Gabe reappears and saves Frank. Yulo then removes his black coat, and the two engage in an all-out fight. They use identical techniques, matching each other's moves with skill and strategy. At first, the fight is balanced, but Gabe starts to struggle and nearly loses. In desperation, he remembers his memories with his wife and changes his fighting style. With renewed determination, he fights Yulo again, destroying parts of the factory. After some time, Gabe gains the upper hand and knocks Yulo down. Instead of killing him, Gabe drags Yulo toward the portal to hand him over to the NBA. However, the massive fire in the factory pulls Gabe into the portal as well.
Gabe, get out! Get out!
Upon arrival, the staff mistake Gabe for Yulo because the scan shows identical identities. They plan to send him to the Hades universe, the prison for the most dangerous criminals across the multiverse. Luckily, Frank notices the wedding ring on Gabe's finger as proof of his true identity. The misunderstanding is cleared up, and Yulo is finally sent to the Hades universe, while Gabe is given a chance to return home. But Frank refuses to send him back to his original universe, as he would still be considered a criminal there. Instead, he chooses another universe where Gabe can reunite with another version of Caris and start his life anew with her. Meanwhile, in the Hades universe, Yulo is surrounded by criminals who immediately attack him. With determination and power, he fights them all to become the new ruler in the world of multiverse criminals. And this is where the film ends. This film teaches that power without control and ambition without limits will only lead to destruction. No matter how great a person's ability is, in the end, it is the choice to use that power wisely that defines who they are. Truth, courage, and self-control are always stronger than greed and the desire to be the most powerful. Because in essence, being one does not mean conquering everything, but being able to maintain balance and choose the right path.